Good day, and welcome to the Ramashram Satsang practice session, where in less than 1 hour you will learn a modern satsang method for obtaining an enlightened, stress-free, healthy, and peaceful life. My name is Eddie, and I've been practicing satsang for over 14 years. During that time, I have experienced increasing levels of peace and joy. I hope that you will have a similar experience or better. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give a brief introduction of this satsang session. If you refer to your screen, the first component, satsang. Satsang consists of two words, sat and sang. Sat means positive energy, sang means to be in the presence of or to be with. So together, satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. To participate in satsang, no special physical skills or spiritual accomplishment is necessary, and both beginner and advanced practitioner can begin this practice. Meditation. Meditation is an important element of satsang. When we meditate, our minds become calm and our thoughts become purified. Only then can we achieve higher states of consciousness and achieve that enlightened, stress-free, healthy, and peaceful life we seek. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsang, outer satsang and inner satsang. When we practice outer satsang, we have the ability to change or modify our behavior, our character. An example of outer satsang would be chanting, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain enlightenment or deep, deep states of peace and joy. The satsang or meditation practice that you will learn today is an inner satsang, consisting of meditation in silence. Group orientation. This practice session is structured for group participation and group meditation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our progress on our spiritual path is expedited. As we practice these sessions weekly, we have the opportunity to perfect the practice and also to amplify the benefits of satsang. Joy and inner happiness. All people wish to experience joy. Joy is the longing of the soul, and deep peace is synonymous with joy. Inner happiness increases within us as we continue to practice satsang and meditation. Ultimately, inner happiness culminates in a continuous joyous state, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Agenda. Today's agenda consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given on satsang, the founder, or some related spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll be given instruction on how to meditate, followed by a period of meditation practice. Lastly, the interactive session, during which time you will be able to ask questions and receive answers, or there'll be a group or panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce today's facilitator. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission and spreading satsang throughout India. Upon arriving in the United States, he and his wife began conducting satsang for satsangees. During that time, after arriving to the United States, he began conducting online satsangs, thereby being able to bring satsang to people all over the world, even to the remote villages of India. He's an excellent choice for facilitator because he has a knack for warmly welcoming newcomers and having a genuine interest in their individual progress. He currently travels throughout the United States and India conducting satsang. Today, he will teach us an ancient, rare form of satsang that was revived and enhanced by Guru Maharaj. Please join me now in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, whom we call Sanjeevji.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. So I think uh, I missed what Eddie said, but thank you, and thank you all for being here. But typically, he does talk about satsang has two flavors. One is outer, like satsang, where you know. Traditionally devotional songs were sung, and it's like it's good company, but it's like more outward than inward. um, we follow what Guru Maharaj established as a inner satsang. And you know so the reason I want to kind of talk about, sometimes there are a lot of things we see, and they're obvious, but still, um, you know, for some reason, either hard to follow or hard to, um, you know, like process and pursue. So one of the things that they found in the research is that we all are looking for peace, but those who actually found it, they found it inside. So if you want to find peace, you have to find ways to move inwards, orient or reorient yourself to look inwards for finding peace. And the classic example is like, you want to go from DC to New York and you take 95 south and you're going in the opposite direction. You can go as fast as you want, but you won't get, to your destination, at least not pretty soon. And this comes to me every time I think about inner peace. I think about people who are pursuing inner peace, or peace. So peace would be found inside, so we kind of call it inner peace. And to find peace, you then will have to figure out, how do you reorient yourself to look inwards? How do you start searching inwards? So the first thing is, if you continue to look for happiness and peace and love in the outer world, how would you turn inwards? I mean, so, so people say that, I mean, why not just for the time of meditation, I'm looking inwards, isn't that enough? And, and that's hard enough, actually. Uh, so, um, so yeah, I mean, that's a good start. But, as Buddha said, all attachments lead to misery rather than peace. Um, So, what are those attachments? Mostly, our attachments are to things around us, and or what we have, uh, you know, kind of, you know, and though that's like it's an internal connection to things that we have made, and then we want to acquire happiness through that process, happiness and peace, and what we find is that some things in the outer world do give us, happiness and peace, but what typically happens is that that's only transient, and you know, some time passes and things change because world is nothing but change, and so that's another. I I don't know how to put it. It's more like it's a um, it's something that it's obvious, but we still don't process it. That if we were to look for permanent anything and permanent peace, permanent happiness in the outer world, which we know is changing every minute, so aren't we just fooling ourselves? it's But no, that's what we continue to do, whatever our age be. Age don't necessarily, you know, make us wiser, and I I can tell you that personal experience. Um, so so the question here is that, one, we need to realize that peace is inside. Two, to find peace inside, we need to figure out ways to, explore or search or find or seek. So you need some internal or inner processes to accomplish that. And inner satsang is one of them. Um, but also, what I think we underestimate is our ability to turn our focus inwards and sustain it. And anybody who has meditated probably can relate to this, that as soon as you try to, you know uh, look inwards, um, then what do? It's almost like, what so first, the mind is all over the place. So how do we transition or orient that mind to, instead of going outward, start going inwards? And again, I mean, there's so much research that has already happened. And the only thing I would say is that typically, um, like if you look at, going to the church or temple, or going to the, outer satsang, which is like devotional songs and music, and these things are like, so if you get yourself into an activity which concentrates you or at least starts orienting you inwards. So what Guru Maharaj questioned was that anything that is an activity is associated with the physical world, with the outer world. Only if you engage with your mind, you are actually turning inwards. So then, why chanting and devotional songs and kirtan and this outer satsang and all these other things are so popular or so one is that this is a good interim state because switching from like completely moving 180 degrees is harder and harder for lots and lots of people. So get into an activity which will focus or concentrate your mind on it is so when you play some instrument, musical instrument, when you sing, when you chant, especially chanting like mantras, when you do it again and again and again and again. So what happens is this activity then, you know, engages your mind. So, you know, so that was found to be one good way to transition you into an inward journey. But then what Guru Maharaj found was that people just get stuck there because that people can relate to its, next logical step, but then people get stuck there. Deeper meditation, deeper exploration, getting to the higher conscious states is better done in silence. And yesterday I was thinking like Maharishi Raman has written so much about the power of silence, and there was something else I was reading. There's phenomenal power in silence, which either we, ignore or culturally is not something that we are very accustomed to or look at it that way. But a lot of people, I mean, even people who are very worldly accomplished, do say that they, meditate. I was actually watching something about one of the biggest hedge fund owner. He says, he has a very, very, very regular deep silent meditation practice. And so anyway, today, the only thing that was running in my head is that, we, if we want to find peace, we got to look inwards. And to look inwards, you will have to find some processes that help you do that. And the way we meditate here is like designed, and the whole thing is basically, taking you to the depths, and fairly quickly, if if you are able to transition. So yes, there used to be traditional prayers before the silent meditation. We have converted that into music. you know, I'm going to start some sessions where we will actually, you know, utilize the real prayer, because when you are engaged in this, activity, it does help you to transition a little faster, and a little more deeper. But this is as good. Yeah, so we'll talk more about the inner peace. So inner satsang, inner peace, inner happiness, and you know, essentially there is this inner world, which is pretty much our mind. If we control this, if we explore this, we go beyond that and deeper. And I think in one of these sessions, I was talking about, the biggest illustration of this phenomena is if you look at the ocean. At the surface of the ocean, there are so many waves. But when people research the marine life and they take devices and things like way deep into the ocean, it's so quiet that it's hard to fathom. At the surface of the ocean, it's so turbulent. The same ocean is so quiet deep down there. That's how our conscious mind versus the unconscious or subconscious mind, you know, you go to the depths and you will find peace. So, on that note, let's practice and then we'll talk more about this subject. Um, so, I think these days I'm finding it's easier to just close your eyes and then observe your body first for a first couple of minutes. Close your eyes and observe your body, that all parts of your body are relaxed. Observe your breath. Inhale and relax, exhale and relax. So idea is that we have a very relaxed posture so that the bodily movements are minimized. No parts of the body are strained. So sit in a relaxed posture, eyes lightly closed, and completely relax yourself and prepare yourself for focusing inwards. So how do we do that here? Basically, we kind of like when we manifest something, we're imagining or we're thinking that we have achieved it. It's the same way we manifest this transcendental energy, in form of light, and we think that it's right here, right now, with us, in front of us, and we are becoming one. We are becoming the energy. So this positive and uplifting energy in form of light is right here, and we are becoming one. We're getting immersed to a point where it's just energy. We are the energy. So the manifestation is that this cosmic energy in form of light is right in front of us, entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are getting completely and totally immersed in this light. Mind will wander away, and it's natural. When mind wanders away, you realize it, and you just so we are not doing any activity, just observing this light and the phenomena that we're becoming one with this light. So when mind wanders away, we bring it back to this thought that this light is in front of us, entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we're becoming one with this light. So we'll start with music. So we'll continue this meditation. Then, after the music, in silence, and then we'll transition out with music. So let's start now. So good to see you all. Um, so I think before we open up, um, I wanted to revisit the concept of inner happiness. So, inner happiness could be a good measure of if your inner satsang practice, or for that matter, any practice that you're pursuing towards, you know, um, getting deeper peace in life. Um, Inner happiness could be a measure. And Panth, you're here. We haven't talked about your joy meter in a while, so maybe we can do that. So, so going back to the definition, so everyone is looking for happiness through wealth, knowledge, possessions, and continues to strive towards being healthy, wealthy, and wise. The happiness of family and friends becomes important because your own happiness depends on their being happy. In broader terms, to be happy yourself, the world in your immediate vicinity needs to be happier. However, the happiness described above is happiness achieved by the virtue of either physical possessions or through physical senses. So, inner happiness is beyond the happiness achieved through worldly possessions. Happiness achieved through worldly possessions turns into misery and unhappiness when the physical possession is lost. So, inner happiness is not based on how much wealth, knowledge, status, or power you possess. Inner happiness grows with your own individual growth. So, inner happiness is a good measure of progress of your practice, and the consistency and depth of inner happiness ought to continue to increase with your practice. So, Guru Maharaj clarified for those who think that spiritual progress requires a very serious amount of time. According to him, it's not important how much time is put in. It's the improvement in the level of inner happiness that's the most important. Um, so if that is not increasing, then you got to, you know, reevaluate, reassess. So yeah, so back to so Pant, any any thoughts?
Inner peace you thought of, yeah, it's an important one. Everything is of right in the universe, whether it's a speech, art, or even existence of matter existence, everything upon the vibrations. So if the vibration is not properly controlled, you will be disturbed or perturbed inside. The whole purpose of meditation, whether even kind of professional job with a good passion and involvement, your uh, internal disturbance. So thereby, that's why I used to say that it could be kind of a neutral position, starting point. And once you achieve that, and probably the level of that peace itself, we can become very stable peace. Not so it has to be stable peace. I would say once I reach the joy meter neutral point. So that's the good thing. And one more stuff which I just accidentally know, I had to read the script.
You are going in and out, Pant, a little. I think the connection is a bit.
Oh, sorry. You get carry on. I'll just switch over to some other network. You carry on. Okay, I'll just join again. Can you hear me now, Sanjeev?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of monsoon which I set here, so disturbing the connectivity as well in Goa.
Yeah, without monsoon, my computer decided to reboot on me. Oh, well.
Yeah, sorry. I was about to tell you about that when we talked about the inner peace, and alongside, uh, I happened to read a script talking about the speeches, a different kind of speeches. Uh, the script is mentioning about four level of speeches. One is the very gross level, like what we physically like speak out the words, right? The acoustic form. So what I speak and what you hear, and what you hear and what I understand, like that. So the second next level of speech, the subtler level is what your mind speaks to you. When you start meditating, when you start withdrawing your mind, there'll be heavy noise inside the right, in your mind. Mind itself starts speaking to you. You start recollecting what happened during the day, and a lot of thoughts will crisscross you. So it is kind of mental speech you have within yourself. That is the second level next to the gross. The third level is what it says is there is no speech as it is. There is no reasoning or listening or speaking out. You just see the truth or facts or object just as it is directly without any interpreting with the word, with the help of words. So that is the third level. And the fourth level, what it says is you become the speech and speech becomes you join with that positive energy. So these four kind of speeches probably it was linking to our inner peace, what you were talking about just a while. So that's I thought I would share this matter of fact.
Yeah, it's you know, inner peace. It kind of reduces the turbulence to a point where you can, uh, you know, get to the higher level of speeches that you're talking about. Yeah. So Shivangi, welcome back. So how was the session today?
Namaste, Bhayaji. Namaste, everyone. It was very good. It was very good. I thought that I'd forget how to do it when I took the break of 2 weeks, but that was not the case. It was very good, very, very relaxing, and just very good, very good. And I'm very happy to be back and continue the practice.
Absolutely. So I think the key words here are meditation should be effortless, should not increase any um, discomfort or pain or, you know, uh, like even your, uh, quote unquote, your brain should be at rest rather than, because sometimes we get caught up in, the way I want to feel becomes um, like a background thread, which we don't want. It should be uh, relaxing, refreshing, and you know, and cleansing and purifying and all that. Yeah. So Richard, Dan, how are things? Good to see you.
Good. Good.
Hello. Yeah, not bad. Thanks. Sorry, Dan. You go.
Okay.
I'll go. It'll be quick. As good, relaxing. It's definitely good to be back. Unfortunately, the last few weeks I've had conflicts that came up against the times of our sessions here, so apologize, but I'm here today, so that counts.
No, that counts. That counts. Definitely glad to have you here. And yeah, I mean, see, the world has to run. We have to do what we have to do, and this practice needs to continue to evolve. And you know, so just not putting you on the spot, but do you try, on your own, trying to evolve individual practice or group practice is the focus?
I try to keep doing, I've signed up for a lot of these sessions, a lot of the mindfulness ones. So
Yeah.
if I try to go to, at least one or two a day. Some days I can get in that too. I have noticed there's been a couple days here where I didn't get any, and I think after a couple days I did notice that I just things weren't as peaceful or as going as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, once you get to that point, it's like you are on the point of no return, where you have figured out. Somebody was telling me today that, like a lot of times we realize that something is working, is good, but what you're describing in terms of being consistent, being, you know, uh, kind of integrating it into our routine and lifestyle, I think uh, that's something like a lot of people are not able to achieve. So I'm happy to hear. Happy to hear. Very good. Good stuff. So, I mean, keep evolving the practice. That and and
yeah,
yeah, because that will, the inner peace, the inner happiness, the even like ability to hear your inner self in the real way, all that, so, and apart from all the health benefits. So Richard.
Hello, yeah, it's nice to be back. I missed a couple of weeks as well. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think I don't actually know what happened. I don't have any memory. I don't know if I fell asleep. I don't recall waking up. So, but it was nice. Whatever it was.
No, see, the thing is that, I mean, we can say the same thing about sleep, right? I mean, if you have a deeper sleep, you don't remember anything. I mean, where was the time and what happened and how long was it? You have to kind of reorient yourself by looking at the clock and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
uh, you know um, see, that is why I think keeping like inner happiness as a measuring stick rather than anything else, because meditation is a journey in itself. It's like an inner journey, and so you will go through a lot of phases, and practice needs to continue, irrespective of, sometimes you feel great, sometimes you don't feel so great, sometimes you are even disturbed because
Yeah.
some of the phases, a lot of, you know it's almost like when you dig and you find things. I mean, the good things, not so good things, dig up. So you have to deal with that when you're um, trying to.
Yeah. I mean, I was quite stressed out when I came to it today because I just had like a really difficult shopping experience. And I feel a lot calmer now. So, but
Yeah.
so I'm not entirely sure I didn't fall asleep. I don't know.
Yeah, see, sometimes, like the simple and obvious things, right? It's like if I sit quietly, closing my eyes, and even if I'm running through like inner struggle, even then, like, I calmed down, right? Because
Yeah.
the physical inactivity also impacts our state of mind, and so on and so forth. So I actually distinctly remember, here in a public library, I used to do the sessions with Onkar, and uh, you know, one of the sessions, two of the old ladies who were to join, uh, got late, and I was in the library. I picked up a book and started reading, and I was, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, time for being calm, quiet, and everything. And when they came, actually, they came almost together because the traffic was such. Both of them were stuck, and they came. It's like I saw them entering through the door of this conference room, and they were, because the traffic was there and because of what was running in their heads, they were so agitated that physically I could see that, right? And then we sat down for the meditation, and and after the session, if I had taken those two photographs, that would be my perfect infomercial. You know, so it was like I was stunned myself. It was just such a stark difference between when we started the session versus when we ended the session. And so meditation, if nothing else, does that. Right. um, and it was I still talk to them about that. And uh, sometimes it's like, if nothing else, it just, we are, I don't know, it's cultural thing or it's the way we have started acting and reacting to things. It's like, okay, so there is traffic, so why are we agitated? Right. I'm
Yeah.
uh, and they were late, and I was, I still remember, like, I was just reading a book and they were like, oh gosh. It was like, no, just relax.
Yeah.
So,
Giving
salute.
this point, there's one actually. The fact is, there's the expectation, right? The
Mhm.
expectation is that you have to reach a spot at say at 9:45.
Right.
Okay. Then
Right.
you will get agitated. Okay.
Right.
Suppose you had started earlier, a bit earlier, you know that the time is in hand. You will
Mhm.
never get agitated. In fact, you will enjoy other car or the previous guy what he is doing, right? And some music in your own car, etc., etc. So the expectation, if you set and if it's not met, the mind is programmed to get agitated. So that we need to somehow tactfully we have to handle before we calm down. There is no other way of calming down, right? We agitate and we get agitated, right? As simple as that.
Yeah, so basically it's like something that we have programmed and we have learned, and there are certain things we can unlearn. And I'm not saying we do without thinking, because I was thinking, like, we have to think about other people who may be waiting for you, and so on and so forth. So it's important to be conscientious of that, but overall, a lot of this is just programming, and we need to reprogram. We need to learn and unlearn. Liz, how are you?
Happy Saturday, everyone. It's good to see you all. Always good to meditate with you. I'm doing well. Really loving the conversation today. It's really great. And it's always great. But, just adding to the discussion of like the expectations and the reprogramming, I read a book once that talked about how, these like when you get like frustrated because of traffic because you're going to be late, let's say there is a legitimate reason, like you got a meeting, right?
Mhm.
And it's like at work, it's with your boss. um that taps into like the survival instincts. Like it taps into like the
Uh,
more primitive instincts that we
yeah,
developed as a species, right? And so, like, I don't know, thousands of years ago or hundreds
yeah,
of thousands of years ago, when we're living in the woods and we see a lion, we're going to get agitated because our life is threatened.
yeah.
And so we've developed that like fear response.
Mhm.
But, if you're a little late to a meeting, life will not end, right?
Yeah,
Like you have to really reprogram yourself to like not live in that survival mode, right?
yeah,
Um, so, and meditation helps a lot. And the other thing I was thinking as we were talking is, in some ways, in my mind, in my opinion, meditation is an act of self-love and an act of love for others, because when you really like sit down and give yourself the space to meditate, it's like self-care, and it's necessary. It's just as necessary as eating, drinking water, sleeping. Um, and I feel like the more we learn about it as a society in different cultures, I mean, it's already built into a lot of different practices, but the more, they're, it's reaching people in different ways. Like science will say it's really good for you. Really, it's built into a lot of religions, but it's like it's a necessary activity, in my opinion.
yeah. So this will be my next infomercial. So, yeah, totally agree. It's um, it's so essential. I think when Dan was describing how he is attending these sessions and uh, continuing to build the practice, I feel, once there is a turning point where you realize that this is as important as, other things like eating and, um, you know, and once you get to that point, that's the point of no return. Yeah. But interestingly, just before the sessions, I was talking to someone and they were saying that there's so much research, and somebody they were quoting saying that 50% of the people, um, you know actually do not cross that bridge. So food for thought there. Yeah. Um, So wow, yeah, great session. So Eddie, you want to wrap that up?
Okay, I'll sum up by saying that as a collective people, we in the world are um, obsessed with glamour. And so this forms a major part of our life and our activities, and our thoughts are directed towards living the lifestyle of the rich and famous. And this is non-productive, and it creates our turbulent mind. When we have a turbulent mind, we're unable to achieve what we seek for, and that is happiness and joy or self-realization. And so the question becomes, how do we calm our mind down and place ourselves on the path to self-realization? And we go back to what Guru Maharaj has told us. He said there's two things that are necessary for yoga, for success in yoga, and that is practice and detachment. And so, we hear this time and time again, and so we'll just say it again today: is practice and detachment. And so that's what we should keep in mind if we want to change our activities and place ourselves on the road to self-realization and happiness.
All right. Um, um, So yeah, it's. I mean, I feel so fortunate that we all seem to have crossed that bridge. We are trying to integrate meditation, and that to inner uh, practice for inner happiness, for inner peace. I think that's I think in a way a big accomplishment in itself. But again, long road ahead. But yeah, I think Luz, what you were referring to is it's not just for ourselves, but for people around us. Eventually, you will find the peace, love, and light, and then it will be so much in abundance that effortlessly uh, you will share it with everyone else. And I hope, wish, and pray that we all get to that point. So, on that note, we'll see you here very soon. Till then, see you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev ji.
All right.
Have a good day,
Bye.
everyone. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Happy Saturday.